Good afternoon on what is a grey, mild and overcast day. It is Wednesday the 4th of January and I'm in the reading up with a nice hot cup of tea. And some parcels to unbox. So let's just get the knife. Slice through that easily enough. And what I've got in here is a copy of that, or rather this, A History of Britain in Just a Minute by Gyles Brandreth. So, end of the year, of course, you get sales, and I always go and check out the book sale, and you can pick up some bargains like this. Now, what's really kind of key to this one is it's a book derived from Radio 4, and it's derived from a radio show or comedy series called Just a Minute, which has been running for, well, 50 years or so. Much of that time hosted by Nicholas Parsons, now hosted by Sue Perkins, who provides the introduction here all forward. And if you've never heard it, Just a Minute is a mainstay of British radio comedy. The idea is really very simple. The chairman will give you a subject. For example, I wandered lonely as a cloud, or peanut butter, or how to roll Easter eggs uphill. And then the person who's given the subject has to talk for a minute without repetition, deviation, or hesitation. And if he commits any of those faux pas, the other contestants can buzz in and take over the subject, and they can continue until the minute is up. Now, the person who completes talking for that whole minute is awarded a point, and people win points for interrupting, and also they're also awarded for incorrect challenges and so on. So, and it's very competitive. It's been going for a long time, and it's entertaining, and it's usually very wordy and erudite, and it can involve lots of flights of fancy. So, what it promises is the story of us without hesitation, repetition, or deviation. And it's written by one of the contestants, Gyles Brandreth, who is known for a number of different things. He has been a Tory MP. He has also been a wearer of particularly atrocious jumpers, collectors of teddy bears. He's written a book about games, and he does a lot of things. So, he's sort of like a media personality. So, the question is, what does Rumpelstiltskin have to do with the Princess in the Tower? What is so special about the year 1776? How many Harry Potters does it take to screw in a light bulb? This isn't just another history book. There's a catch. From Stonehenge and Boadicea to Peppa Pig and the London Olympics, each subject is written in 60-second instalments without hesitation, repetition, or deviation. In A History of Britain in Just a Minute, best-selling author, a long-time Jam, as it's known, Just a Minute Jam, panellist Gyles Brandreth celebrates key moments, people and places from our past kings and queens, heroes and villains, triumphs and disasters, inventions and events, battles and bonnets, art, science, literature, entertainment, sport, gossip and more. Some of the entries are interrupted minutes, while others feature challenges for repetition and even hesitation. With additional contributions for Just a Minute friends including Sue Perkins, Shaprak Khorsandi and Jesse Lawrence, you've never heard the story of Britain quite told like this. You'll enjoy every uproarious minute of it. So there we go. There's a picture of Gyles Brandreth on the back. So yes, writer, performer, former MP and government whip, now Chancellor of the University of Chester. Journalist. And so on. So like a media personality and writer. So this is this book. So here's a list of all the subject matters in there. I'll just show you a quick close up. And this is just sort of like a book. You can dip into. It opens us like a quick guide to how you talk for 1 minute on a subject. So before, during, after, and its history. So yes, this kind of encapsulates both playing the game and the book itself. Depending on what speed at which you speak, you can deliver between 100 and 250 words in a minute. This then is a quickfire history of just a minute, presented in 229 words without hesitation, repetition, or deviation. Plus footnotes. So this explains what just a minute is in exactly that. I've got a guide to using the book. And again, as I said, it's a book you're kind of going to want to dip into. You don't necessarily want to read it from end to end, but nevertheless, you can. And then, welcome to just a minute in history. Before we get on to the timeline of history, all done in comic style and in the beginning. So it's all going to be pretty much like that. Of course, this is a bit like What If or What If 2. It's sort of like someone sitting down and sort of writing bitty things and doing sort of like slightly silly things with history or subjects and so on. All illustrated by little cartoon illustrations and stuff like that, dealing with things when we've got the vote, the trial of Lady Chatterley's lover, Peter Cook and Dudley Moore, including a non-rude version of their interactions, because Fluck Clunt, it's not rude. It's almost rude, but it's not. Saying goodbye to pounds, shillings, and pence. I love you, new money. So it's dealing with a lot of British history, sort of like a lot of it within Brandreth's own lifetime, and more. George Best, different aspects of history and British cultural life. So, yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to do this, do see it in other versions of the thing in other countries. All depends upon where they play. Just a minute, the game is popular in India. But I think this is sort of like a nice little thing to have on your shelf. Just if you're a fan of the radio shows, you're going to want to pick this up. If you're a fan of history, well, it's probably a bit too light and perhaps intentionally so a little bit too flippant. But it's a nice sort of filler sort of thing, have this sat around, and this sort of thing that it's one of those things where the subject matters, one page like that. The song "We'll Meet Again," the Empire Windrush, HM Empire Windrush, which brought the first immigrants across from the Caribbean. That's celebrating its 75th anniversary this year. It's covering such a wide range of subjects in such a small amount of space that it's perfect for sort of like just picking up and browsing, or reading on the loo. If you do that sort of thing, if you read on the toilet, and I have a father who does, it's perfect for him. It's a bit like the other books like 50 Things That Made the Modern Economy, or What If and What If 2, really kind of short entries which are easy to sort of like delve into and come back out of, in the time you've got. So yeah, that's a history of Britain in just a minute by Gyles Brandreth. Perfect for sitting on the loo and engaging with. You don't have to, and you don't have to do what you're doing in there in just a minute with without repetition, deviation, or hesitation. That's up to you. Anyway, history of Britain in just a minute. That's what I'm going to be reading soon. Anyway, thanks for watching another unboxing in the Nook. If you've enjoyed this, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a box, a package containing a book or game which I'll unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so. All, of course, accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. In the meantime, thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook, and I'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.